surprised that in the announcement over the weekend, the president mentioned other smaller coins like Xrp, Solana, and Cardano, as well as Bitcoin for the strategic crypto fund?
I'm not surprised. I mean, I think there's no way to interpret this other than this is bullish for Bitcoin and is bullish for the entire U.S. crypto industry. You know, there are conservatives that view the right path forward as just a Bitcoin-only policy because Bitcoin is a commodity, an asset without an issuer, a neutral asset, and there's no controversy. But the president's adopted a more liberal economic policy, and that's his right. He's president of the United States.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you would have preferred it, though, if it was a Bitcoin-only fund.
You know, I believe that the best thing for the country is to move forward with an enlightened, progressive policy toward digital assets. I think it's worth $100 trillion to the United States, and ultimately there's four different assets that people need to come to grips with. A digital commodity, like Bitcoin, an asset without an issuer, backed by digital power. A digital currency, like a stable coin, backed by a fiat currency equivalent. A digital security, an asset with an issuer backed by a stock or a bond, so we can tokenize Wall Street. And then a digital token, which is an asset with an issuer that's backed by digital utility. I think everybody's trying to come to grips with that taxonomy, and as the market gets more educated, we're going to see more progressive, constructive policy engagement.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset.
Do you think that any other asset should be in the strategic crypto reserve?
You know, I think if you're looking out over the next 100 years, trying to figure out how do you capitalize a nation state or a country, what you want is a digital commodity. But if you have a sovereign wealth fund, then I think it's well within the rights of the leader of the nation to decide to put, you know, proprietary assets, securities, tokens, and the like into it. And of course, the decision will eventually be made through a fairly comprehensive political process over the next 6 months. We have till July 22nd, when the digital assets framework and recommendations from the executive order are due on the president's desk. It should be interesting to watch what happens between now and then.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box, provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the NWO book and the Crypto Teacher book. The NWO book shows you how the world really works, and especially in the times that we're in right now, it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep. And in 2025, the NWO is going to turn on that alarm clock. It's up to you whether you wake up or not, whether you're going to hit that snooze button. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. And guys, we're going to see stablecoin regulation, which is the foundation of this new digital economy. And it sets up down the road 2028, 2029 for that free money. And then also, of course, in the first quarter of 2025, we always get a correction. But we have trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline in money market accounts. And then plus, we know the Fed is going to cut rates. Not a lot this year, but they're definitely going to cut rates. So I see us getting a correction and then moving back up. And then we have the two powerhouses, China and the U.S., will step up these tariffs on each other. And of course, guys, that's going to hit certain parts of the market. But then we also have the hacks. We have the Birdman. We have the drums are beaten and more movies to come, as we can see. And inflation is going to stay sticky and layoffs are going to step up while they move in all this automation. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And we have Bitcoin and crypto pulling back after Trump's Sunday announcement. Got that little pump and dump, and we're going to go over that later. Now, right now, we have stocks down. Of course, we have tariffs that are supposed to kick in tomorrow. So we'll see. And then also, Trump is going to be in the house. So tomorrow is definitely going to be interesting. So guys, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates, the long end being pushed down, short end moving up. And all this is doing is making that inverted yield curve more steeper. Don't forget, the inverted yield curve is back. And right now we have the dollar down, we have volume and crypto up, we have Tether and USDC, and we have Binance will delist non-stable coins including Tether and DAI in Europe on March 31st to comply with MiCA regulations. And as we know, because Tether is so big, it will affect liquidity. Of course, we see USDC picking up, but that's a lot of ground to make up. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo on Friday was $234 billion. Make sure you're pulling that on a daily basis during the week. As we can see last week, we had a big increase. And then also, what did we see? A big decrease in the long end of the yield curve. So we see how they're manipulating it. And again, Jerome Powell admitted what they were doing. And of course, that keeps the market going. But we know the Fed wants to keep rates higher for longer in order to destroy this legacy market so Trump can build this fourth industrial revolution. And remember, the crypto teacher told you.
Who knows, maybe we'll pay off our $35 trillion, hand him a little crypto check, right? We'll hand him a little Bitcoin and wipe out our $35 trillion.
Now we have Trump to address Congress tomorrow. And he says he's going to tell it like it is. And this speech is unexpected, so we know this speech is going to be encoded with the fourth industrial revolution. And most likely he's going to speak a lot about Doge and tariffs. And we're going to see if those tariffs actually kick in tomorrow. Remember, they kept pushing them back anytime they were supposed to be applied. So the only thing we have to do is sit back, get your popcorn, and let it play out. And we have Trump will host a crypto summit at the White House March 7th. So that social media post makes all the sense in the world. And we had David Sachs, the crypto czar, confirm that he sold all his cryptocurrency holdings, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, when he took the job. And guys, we know he didn't have to do that. But he definitely sold at the top of this cycle that we're in right now. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs right now are up. And we have Kraken has announced that the SEC has agreed to drop its lawsuit. And again, guys, another NWO company that the case gets dropped. And I told you all these Gary Gensler lawsuits was just a way to kick the regulation can down the road. And don't forget the Rothschilds fund back in 2021 invested in Kraken. And remember, the crypto teacher told you.
You're not going to want to miss this movie. Yeah, you're not going to want to miss this movie.
And remember, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. You can't make this stuff up. We had Eric Trump said it was genius for announcing the strategic reserve on Sunday. Like we haven't already heard this information, they just told us the different cryptos that would be included. Because he stated the traditional markets were closed. And we know from Larry Fink, guys, that all stocks and bonds are going to be tokenized and they're going to be trading 24/7. Remember, the bank man had already tested it. But we see the Trump family heavily invested in the digital economy, and they know all about this fourth industrial revolution. And Peter Schiff, playing the Hegelian dialectic, said that Trump sending out a social media message manipulated markets for his family, and if he did it in the stock market, he would be impeached. But because it's in crypto, it's legal. And that's the biggest reason why he changed his mind on crypto. And we know Peter Schiff knows better, because Peter Schiff knows all about this fourth industrial revolution that's moving like a train. These digital assets represent the new economy that's running right beside the legacy economy. And of course, they're doing this to keep the sheep asleep. They want the sheep only to see the legacy market, be distracted on things that don't matter, and by the time they bring on this new digital economy, it'll be seamless where the sheep have no clue that they're using it. Remember, they don't want critical thinkers. They don't want you to understand the technology because then the plan wouldn't work. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, Peter Schiff and Brian Armstrong did say something that I do agree on. Now, Michael Saylor, of course, tried to take the high road, but this message by Trump or whoever does his messaging, this was not good timing because the whole point of selling Bitcoin is that it was digital gold. And like Peter Schiff stated, it must not be anything special about Bitcoin. And Brian Armstrong, of course, stated it probably will be the best option just with Bitcoin. But Michael Saylor has been selling this digital gold, and everybody else on TV is digital gold, limited supply, and that's the reason why it's just like gold. But to bunch all these cryptos up together, it destroyed that whole narrative of Bitcoin being digital gold. Even though, guys, we know Bitcoin could have scaled, we wouldn't even have all these altcoins in the first place. Those who built me from the beginning, I've been over it several times. Bitcoin definitely could have scaled. But of course, by design, the central banks didn't allow it and created that narrative of Bitcoin was supposed to destroy the banks. But as we know, guys, the big banks and big corporations have been funding Bitcoin and crypto from the beginning. All you have to do is look at the funding rounds. And it was all so they could build this fourth industrial revolution. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Xrp, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Team save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Team save New York from COVID stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Team goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.